Welcome to the White Knight Theater. As a lawyer, I responsibly tell you that this handcuffing is improper. He is merely a person involved in the case, not a criminal. What about O.J. Simpson's fresh wounds? Did he have an alibi on the night of the murder? We found some bloodstains in your Mustang and your house. Are these bloodstains yours? Produced by Himalaya, the third episode of the crime drama with Chinese-American detective Dr. Lee, the only suspect in the murder business. 2 days ago, Dr. Lee overcame his internal hesitation and decided to participate in the investigation of the murders of Nicole and Goldman, responsible for analyzing the crime scene and reviewing all expert testimonies. On June 17, 1994, Dr. Lee and Detective Sam from the Connecticut State Police Laboratory boarded a direct flight to Los Angeles. Sam, not yet 30 years old, had just transferred to the Connecticut Police Department in early 1994. Facing the unfamiliar Dr. Lee, Sam was always extremely curious about this Chinese-American detective who held the highest position in the American police force. Participating in the Simpson case with Dr. Lee was the result of his eager self-recommendation. It was still early, and the VIP lounge at the airport was sparsely populated. Dr. Lee sat in the corner, gazing into the distance. An airplane accelerated forward, leaving the ground in the last few dozen meters of the gray runway, soaring into the sky. And in the blink of an eye, it disappeared into the azure sky. The surroundings were unusually peaceful. Dr. Lee and Sam put on their headphones and played a crucial recording related to the case. It was an interrogation process between Wannert and O.J. Simpson at the police station. Well, is everything ready? Ready, let's begin. This is an interrogation room at the Los Angeles Police Department. It is now 1:30 p.m. on June 13, 1994. I am Detective Wannert, and this is Detective Lang. Sitting opposite me is O.G. Simpson. Your name is Orenthal James Simpson. I am Orenthal James Simpson. Lang, what about the wound on your left middle finger? Well, I know about this one. Maybe it was in Chicago. Can you be more specific? I was in the hotel and broke a glass. It was when I received your call. I was in the bathroom, and I was a bit emotional. Are you sure it was then? It should be, I guess. It's just a minor thing. I often bleed, playing golf and stuff. It happens. Bergen, this is important. We hope you're telling the truth. We'll verify with the hotel. Well, I'm not sure if it was then, actually. Maybe it was earlier, the night before. When I was driving, I threw some trash out of the car. It might have been then. Yeah, it must have been. Later, I went home and packed some hangers into my suitcase. I felt a bit of pain on my finger, but I didn't think much of it. I was in a hurry that night because I had to fly to Chicago. When exactly? It was a long day for me with a lot happening. I can't remember exactly when it was cut. Okay, we found some bloodstains in your Mustang and your house. Are these bloodstains yours? It might be from the wound on my hand. Dr. Lee, do you think O.J. is guilty now? Guilt. From a legal standpoint, he's not even a suspect yet, but I still think he's highly suspicious. Just because of that recording? Yes, his explanation for the finger wound in the recording is contradictory. He's clearly lying, trying to hide something. Those police officers were so silly. They should have pressed him on the issue, hitting the pain point. How could he bleed so much just from a finger cut? He has hemophilia. Now, arguing about the police interrogation is useless. Sam, you go find some information on the property division when O.J. and Nicole divorced. You want to explore the financial motive? Yeah, in our lack of understanding of their emotional disputes, financial disputes could also cause chaos. There are too many examples. In 1992, the couple decided to file for divorce, but without a trial, they signed a divorce agreement on October 15th of that year. According to the agreement, O.J. Simpson paid Nicole a one-time lump sum of $430,000 as a breakup fee and paid $10,000 a month in child support. The San Francisco apartment that O.J. Simpson had given Nicole for rent went to her, but O.J.'s annual income was basically over $650,000. The child support was neither too high nor too low for him. So, did he pay the breakup fee? I'll check. He did pay. Is there any record showing that Nicole wanted to further contest the property? The mansion O.J. lives in now? No. The mansion in Rockingham, owned by O.J., is worth over $1 million, but when Nicole Brown and O.J. Simpson got married, they signed a prenuptial agreement. It clearly stated that Simpson retained exclusive ownership of the property. So, it seems less likely that financial disputes led to hatred. Step 2. Analyze the timeline. June 12th was a Sunday. According to O.J. Simpson, he had already planned to take the 11:45 p.m. flight from Los Angeles to Chicago that night. He was scheduled to attend an advertising meeting sponsored by a taxi company the next morning. For this, they had booked a limousine to pick him up at home at 10:45 p.m. that night. That afternoon, O.J. Simpson played an early round of golf at the country club. At 5 p.m., Simpson went to the school theater to watch his daughter Sydney's dance performance. He sat alone in the last row, watching the entire performance without sitting with his ex-wife. After the performance, around 6:30 p.m., Nicole Brown and her family went to a nearby Italian restaurant for dinner. Mr. Simpson was not invited. Around 9 p.m., O.J. Simpson picked up Cato Kalin, who helped with household chores and childcare, and drove to a nearby McDonald's restaurant. Simpson ate his burger on the way home, and then the two separated at Simpson's doorstep at 9:40 p.m. At 9:37 p.m., Nicole's mother called the restaurant to look for a lost pair of glasses. Around 10 p.m., the restaurant staff delivered an envelope containing the glasses to Nicole's home, which took about 15 minutes. Between 10:15 and 11 p.m., several neighbors heard Nicole's dog barking. Second point, if Simpson committed a crime of passion. If Simpson had committed the murders in a fit of passion, killing two people impulsively, what did the limousine driver, Alan Park, who picked him up shortly after the murders, recall about Simpson's demeanor and behavior? Alan Park, who had been working as a limousine driver for only a short time, received a dispatch from his boss around 3 p.m. that day to pick up O.J. Simpson at Rockingham for a flight at 10:25 p.m. that night. Arriving slightly early, Park rang the doorbell but received no response. He described feeling increasingly anxious as he waited, fearing he would be late and reprimanded. After several attempts to contact Simpson, Park recalled seeing a man emerge from the house around 10:54 p.m., though he was unsure if it was Simpson. Shortly after, he saw another tall, African-American man run past the front of the car and enter through a side door of Simpson's house. When Simpson finally emerged with another man, identified as Cato Kalin, Park noted that Simpson appeared calm and well-dressed, with no visible signs of haste or distress. Simpson insisted on carrying his own bag, a detail that raised suspicions among investigators. During the drive to the airport, Park recalled Simpson being polite and composed, though he did not reveal much about his evening. This calm demeanor contrasted sharply with the chaotic scene at the crime site, leading many to question whether Simpson's behavior was genuine or an attempt to mask his involvement. Key details from Alan Park's testimony: arrival and initial contact. Park arrived early and rang the doorbell multiple times without response. Observations of movement. He saw two individuals near the house, but could not confirm their identities. Simpson's appearance. Simpson appeared well-groomed and composed, carrying his own bag. Behavior during the drive. Simpson was polite, but did not offer much information about his evening. These details, combined with other evidence from the crime scene, such as the bloodstains and the presence of Simpson's DNA, created a complex picture that would be central to the trial.